Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. This is a feel-good video that is going to just uplift your week if you're starting out with me, or if you happen to fall on this video at the end of the week. This is your 5 tips all about beauty has very little to do with looks. Are you ready? Let's get this beauty started. My first tip is probably one that I've come in contact with a lot, and that is basically forgetting what society dictates or defines as beauty. So I kind of really disrupted that in 2015 when I went gray in my 30s, and society says, oh no, we can't do that. You have to stay and look a certain way. And I basically broke all the rules in that sector. And I'm so happy I did, because it just wasn't working for me. It wasn't working with what was going on in my life at the time. As you know, from all of my videos and things that I've talked about, I went through a very rigorous year of 5 rounds of IVF, and my hair was exploding with the gray, and I was in my 30s, and it was just so much being thrown at me. And then on top of that, layered with society's definition of what beauty is and what have you, I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to have to just break out and do my own thing. And I really looked for women that inspired me, like real beauty, and not what society keeps throwing at me. So that's something to really consider, to really make your own definition of what beauty is and what beauty means to you, and not focus in on what society keeps pushing and telling you it is. Positive self-talk. Now, I've said this a lot on my channel because I really do believe in it. It's an inside job. So that really goes along with my title, is that, beauty has really very little to do with looks. It's from what's coming in on the inside out. And when you really spend the time and you are positive with yourself and you have a good inner dialogue and it's positive and you're not ripping yourself apart, whether it's your nose, your lips, your skin, you're not tall enough, you're not short enough, you're not large enough, you're not small enough, whatever the case is. Like, you have to have that inner dialogue that is constantly running underneath, like the current, right? It has to be positive. It's very easy to be negative because it's comfortable, right? If you've been doing it forever, like myself, it's very comfortable. It's like very hard to get out of. It's like, oh no, this is like my default, right? It's harder to be positive and say something positive about yourself, or not be like, oh, I can't stand this with my hair today, or this is wrong and that's wrong and what have you. Focusing on being positive is just really something that's going to change your life, but it's going to change your beauty and the way you look at yourself. My third tip is to stop comparing yourself to other women. I did this a lot, especially when I first started going gray and I was a little not really quite sure what was going on. And I would be doing research for photo shoots, and I would see, models with dark brown hair and long, and I had it, and I'd be like, oh, the days of me being, this is what I look like. And then I would start going down this rabbit hole of oh, I should look like that, or that's more me. And I really felt the connection with that. And then I was like, Nicole, snap out of it. You are moving forward, you're evolving. I can't go back and stay in the comfort zone, right? I can't stay and say, oh, society says it's okay, and no one gives me a hard time. It was so much easier. Now it's like, you know what? I'm glad that I basically broke out, and I don't compare myself to other women, and I don't compare myself to anything, because it's not productive. It doesn't get me anywhere. It doesn't get me to the next level. If I'm just constantly comparing myself and then going backwards and then saying, oh, I don't look like that, or I don't like this. It's not a really good way to really get that inner beauty coming out, because you're just constantly trying to change yourself and trying to derail yourself. You're looking at others instead of just looking at yourself. And how do I make myself better? How do I, get more fit? Or how do I, maybe I'll change my hair. I'll get a cut, or maybe I'll color my hair, or maybe I'll do highlights. That's really the focus in the shift. It's not about on other people. Take that energy and reroute it back to yourself, so you can really understand, where do you want to be? Where do you want to take your beauty? But it's not going to develop, ladies, if you're constantly concentrating and comparing yourself to everyone else. My fourth tip is to go bare. So this is always, I think, a little scary, to not wear any makeup, or to take a day off and not put any foundation on, concealer, what have you. I love doing this, usually on the weekends. I'll just take a reset day. But makeup is not what's making you beautiful, ladies. It has nothing to do with makeup or what you're putting on your skin. It has everything to do with who you are, your skin, your eyes, your nose, your lips, everything. And let that be seen. Look at yourself in the mirror and be like, wow, I look amazing. I have no makeup on and I'm amazing. I'm in my 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I look amazing, because you do. And again, it goes back to the mindset. It goes back to what you say to yourself. You will see a huge difference with your confidence when you allow yourself to really see yourself, to appreciate yourself, to appreciate everything on your face and not to criticize it, to be positive, to love yourself, one of the hardest things to do. But you're going to see the biggest change when you do that. And going bare, just being natural, and do it for an hour. You don't have to do it for a day, whatever will work for you. But it's a really, really great little exercise to just see yourself and not see yourself covered up. And my last tip is one that I learned from Mel Robbins, and she is a motivational speaker. I listen to her on podcasts when I'm driving. I listen to her when I'm running on the treadmill, and she wrote a book on this. It's called The High Five Habit. And she said it kind of just like randomly like happened. And it wasn't something she planned out or what have you. And this habit's all about when you or you're in the bathroom, you've brushed your teeth and you look at yourself in the mirror, you're going to set an intention for the day, the week, what have you, for your life. And then you're going to give yourself a high five. So it's like sealing in that intention. So basically high five means what? When we see people on the basketball court or football field or what have you doing high fives, it's like, yeah, you got this. Yeah, you keep going. Oh, great job. That's what you're saying to yourself. So basically you seal it in. I did feel very silly doing this. And I was like, is anyone watching me do this? There is an energy shift. And there is something that does happen when you set your intention for yourself, your life, your week, whatever that is. And then you're like, yeah, I got this. Like you're giving yourself the permission. So it's really a wonderful habit to start. You will feel kind of weird and silly when you first do it. And then you're like, wait, how come I wasn't doing this before? So just smiling at yourself more in the mirror, giving yourself that high five, that permission to be whatever it is that you want to be. That's where it really starts, ladies. It starts from you. It starts from the inside. And I hope that these tips will really help you to reframe yourself, reframe your beauty. Remember, beauty is from the inside. It's not what we're seeing on the outside. We know that. We've all heard the saying where you can have a really beautiful person, but they're just so ugly that that's what you see. Right? You're not looking at beauty anymore because it's about what's on the inside. That's coming out. That's what you're presenting to the world. The outside shell is great. We can do whatever we want with makeup and hair and fashion and everything. But the core, what's going to get you through life and going to have an amazing life is what you're offering from the inside. So I hope those tips helped you, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.